beyond belief. And thank you, PJ, very much. I'm honored to be described in that way. The first thing I wanted, well, of course I'm crying, and the first thing I said I wasn't going to do was cry, so there you go, we'll get that out of the way. The other thing is that PJ asked me if I had guests in my family coming, and I said, yeah, there are most of them here. So I wanted to thank you all for being here so much, because, you know, I have a beautiful, amazing family, and yet I have this huge, gigantic family, of which the Western region is just a part. So I'm really grateful to all of you. Thank you. Don't you do that. I'll come smack you. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to share a couple of things with you. There's no way that I'm going to be able to thank every single person individually. I started making a list, I ran the paper, and I wasn't even really out of the region. So, you know, anybody, I'm going to speak with you individually, but I love you all, and I'm just so amazingly honored to be included with this group. So thanks. All right. Yeah, you may have to help me out, so don't hesitate to jump in if that comes to the place. I want to share a quote with you. The American poet Carl Sandburg said, "When a nation goes down, or a society perishes, one condition may always be found. They have lost sight of what had brought them along." And that really made me think of gratitude, which is something I really hadn't been practicing a lot. And, you know, consequently, it's affected a lot of different areas in my life, so I started changing that. And it takes a little while to turn that ship, you know, the Titanic is going to turn a little bit. But I looked up the definition of gratitude, and it's a feeling of thankful appreciation for favors or benefits received. You know, and do we live in gratitude every day? Probably not. All of us struggle with that, but if we can be more aware of it, and that's what I'm working on. So please don't hesitate to remind me and help me with that, because that's really where I want to be. I'm incredibly grateful to Cutco. How many of you, this is your first job, or maybe you only had 3? Put your hand up. 35 jobs in my life, not including all the random babysitting and catering I've done. The longest before this was 3 years. I've been with Cutco 8 years. I thought I'd be here 8 weeks. And, you know, some of the worst jobs, selling cookbooks out of a station wagon or delivering singing balloon telegrams in a costume with a mask. Thank God. Some of the best, teaching preschool, being a nanny on rock and roll tours, and having my own line of shirts that I designed. But one of the things that I noticed when I came to this job was the opportunity. I thought, I'm going to be that. I'm going to be that FSM. In the interview, I'm going to be that. I didn't know how I was going to get from here to there, but I saw it and I was like, I'm going to get there. And what was amazing was that I'm not, what do you guys call us, manager? Non-traditionals? Is that the phrase for us now? Non-traditionals? But I think I came with an open mind, and I was an old dog who wanted to learn new tricks. And I'm very grateful for the managers who put aside my age, which was not what they were looking for, and I put aside theirs, which was like my son's age, and we just got it done. I said, well, you know a lot more about this business than I do, and so I'm going to learn from you. And we learned from each other, so I'm really grateful for that. When I first came here, I sent an email to the Western region because I was really on fire about wanting to change things, and I sent what I felt that I brought and wanted to create here, and I said, you know, I'm a natural-born cheerleader, and I'm loyal, and I'm enthusiastic, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm a teacher. But what I said was, I want to be able to create amazing things with amazing people. And I feel like I've, you know, made a good start at that, and you people are all part of that. I just want to thank you all as quickly as I can, because it's just a terrible thing to do, but I have to. If you've ever answered a question for me, or if you've ever asked one of me, or if you've ever spoken, you know, I've heard you speak, or if you've ever listened to me speak, or you've led, followed, all of this, you know, we've all been part of this, and I'm grateful for your participation in it, in whatever position we played for each other. I've learned so much, and I thought I was grown. Whew. I had so far to go, and I'm not done, apparently. You know, the things that I love, we have this opportunity to make so much money, and with fun, and with friends, and this flexibility, but the opportunity to grow and be more than we are all the time, and you can slip and be less. And what you'll get from someone is not, hey, hit the road, like John Bedford said last night, but it'll be like, wow, you're really better than that. I didn't hear that in my other jobs. I hear a lot. When I'm slipping, people will call me on it and say, hey, you're really better than that. So how can we help? What's going on? You know, or a good kick in the butt, and then a good hug, and you know, all those things. And don't you appreciate that? I really do. I'm going to thank all of you as a group, because I do love you all. Whether you're a brand new rep, this was my very first conference, by the way. That's the kickoff conference. And whether you've been here forever, whether you're a division manager or a district manager or an AM or a representative, a CSP, an FSM, whatever position you've played and whatever interactions we've had with each other, it's all an integral part of me getting this far. And this means so much to me. It really, really does. It's amazing and special. I've never finished anything in this way. I was one that took all my college classes and then didn't hand in the last 2 papers. Does this? So anyway, I'm finished to the point where I've accomplished something phenomenal. And this is the first time I've ever done that. And thank you for that. I want to... One group I do want to thank that's not here is everyone in Olean, especially customer service and field service. They are awesome. They're amazing. I know them by their voice, which tells you how often I call. But they're amazing, and Vector Eastern Regional, and the division, and the whole region, and the Long Beach office, and everybody. And thank you so very much, and I'm going to try to speak to all of you individually and contact you in some way to show you and share what I have specifically. One thing that I say when I come into training class, you know, you're always asked to share something. What's helpful? What can be helpful? You know, what could you share with this training class? And what I've realized is that in this job, we may be independent, but we're never, ever alone. And that's huge, really huge. I don't know if all of you know this, but there's a wonderful story, and you know, field training is recognized so much in this company, and it certainly saved me, and it saved so many people, and I've started to do it again, in part of my gratitude. And so when you did 50 field trainings, you get this great starfish pin. And the story is, and if you know it, just be patient with me, that on a beach, the sun is out, and the tide is out, and it is hot. And there are starfish all over the sand, covered all over they are not in the water. This is a problem. There's a man walking along, and he sees this, and way down the beach, way down there, he sees this little boy amongst these hundreds and hundreds of starfish. And this kid's picking up the starfish, and he's throwing it in the water. And he's scrambling and getting another one. He's throwing it in the water. And it just appears to be hopeless. And the man walks over and he said, "Hey, there, kid. What are you doing?" And the kid said, "You gotta help me, you gotta help me. Look, the tide is out, it's hot, these starfish, they're gonna die, they're everywhere. Come on, what are you doing? Pick one up, help." And the guy said, "Oh, kid, please, look at how many. I mean, you don't stand a chance. There's no way you can make a difference." And the kid looked at him, said, "Okay." And he picked one up. And he tossed it in the water as hard as he can, and he said, "You know, made a difference for that one." And I just wanted to tell you all that you've made a difference for this one. Thank you so much.